goes I am, and you warm both of us together. We are both made of stars. It goes I am, and you warm both of us together. We are. No. No action.
Thomas here with Thomas Talks Music, and I have a special guest with us today.
And here it is, my people. I am Ocho, and I am loud as fuck.
I'm probably gonna have to beep that out, but it's okay.
And I am a living, breathing person, same as you. And I am, like, my journey here is to really make positivity and self-empowerment louder. And how that's done is through composition, through music, through songwriting, through broadcasting, and like podcasting, hey! And creating content that, if nothing else, like alleviates fucking suffering and helps those who like want to be better. And just having that and being like another person who is offering that. It's just, it's an offering. You can take it or not, and that's kind of the point of all this, to create tools, and the more people that are doing it, the more different kinds of tools are for different people. And that's the bag, making positivity and self-empowerment louder.
Beautiful. It's really amazing to have people out there like you, trying to spread empowerment to everybody, all humans, all beings. So on this podcast, we're just talking about music. We like to talk about all different types of music and just how inspiration comes to you. Like, how did you start? How did you start making music? Let's go way back, man. Let's go
back to the days when I was a brown boy. That was holy Christ. Okay. All right. This began October the 3rd, October the 4th. I was in San Jose, California at the time. I was living on the east side, and it was almost as if somebody like zapped me, like with a fucking cattle prod. Well, I don't fucking know, but I just shot up out of bed, and I said, I need a guitar. And that was it. I went to school, I went to work, and I need a guitar. Like, that was it. That was like the I went and bought one like that fucking day. I went and bought a 323 Fender Dreadnought. Standard issue. And I remember sitting in the fucking parking lot on the east side of San Jose, this shitty apartment building, just like what's the guitar? And I didn't know how to. I had no clue. And I had Nirvana and the Violent Femmes as a like a template.
Right.
And here we are, dude. Almost like fucking 20 years later. It feels like yesterday. And then dude. I'm a proponent of getting the fuck up and just doing it. Concept is cool, but you just have to get the fuck up and do. No, again, I was literally, I had the guitar in my hand. I was like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had to go and get a chord and find a Green Day song and this and that and the other. And yeah, man, it's been in a lot of ways like a gift and a curse. Like at times it's just been like, what the fuck, God? What the fuck? What am I supposed? No, it's just like one of those things. Like, what the fuck do I do with this? brother Tomas is sick. He's got a clean set. He's got the thing over there. Got the other thing. Got the fucking screen. Got the piano. Got the band. Got the notes and shit. Little balls with the.
It's a fun game for them kids.
When's it now? Shut It's definitely been a zigzaggy journey, but at long last, like collectively, we've arrived at a place, our civilization, where the focus is being drawn, and I'm sure you remember, like in the 2000s, like a majority of the fucking music. I tried so hard, it got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Linkin Park.
Well, Linkin Park,
Yeah.
but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it's mainstream shit that's being blasted. It like, you know,
It's like speaking to like mental health almost, you know, like
empathy.
yeah, exactly.
And we're finally at a place where we can now address, hey, wait a minute. It does fucking matter. Let's heal. Let's address the trauma that's happened, whatever it is. And like acknowledge it and have that conversation. And that's now as we're speaking, as we're recording, is bleeding into fucking music. What a glorious, 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 glorious time. And I'm grateful to be amongst those who are leading the charge. And I am grateful.
It's amazing.
Amen.
Cheers.
Strovia comprado. What else?
So I like to ask people like why they think. I mean, you've kind of explained this, but I kind of want to hear a concise answer. It's like why is throw a pick at me? Why is music important? Why do we need music? You know, I've had to think of that as being a teacher myself. You know, and you know, like when budget cuts happen in any kind of school, art, music are always the first ones to go.
Yeah.
And you know, music is kind of seems like one of those, like, I guess, underrated or overrated or whatever. You know, people tend to not really consider take advantage. I don't know if that's the right word, but they like to kind of not make it seem that important. So I just want to kind of know your opinion of why do you think music is important? You know, like why, like to you, you know, and why do you think society should have music? You know.
At this stage of the game, got white hairs now. Proud of them.
Yeah, me too, man. I got like a couple hundreds, you know, go on the side or something.
At this stage of the game, it's an inalienable truth that we are all sentient, obviously, sovereign beings that have the capacity to be in 100% control of our reality. You know, just based on our thoughts and thoughts alone. Now, if you were trying to get a good control system going, you know, we'll call them the cabal, whoever you want to call them, what's a couple of things that you would do? You would get the little ones and put them in a little box and say, okay, you have to be, and show it 2 o'clock and sit down, and outside, and the other thing you would do is you would ideally, if you were the controllers, remove their spiritual practice. Now, we're not talking about religion, we're talking about spiritual practice. How much of a spiritual experience is Beethoven's, you know, Ode to Joy? Once you get to that fucking
Yeah.
I feel at least that the reason that they take away the funds for, you know, the band and the music is because really they're not looking to prioritize our connection with our higher self, our connection with nature, our connection with all the fucking living things that are really us. They're not on that agenda.
Yeah.
No. They're on, okay, we gotta get them hooked on the shit food and the medication. And watching the phone, and they're on that agenda. Which, if I were them, I get it.
Right.
I'm not saying it's okay, but I understand. And I'm, I may be, but one, fucking dude with long hair, woo, doing the thing, but the reason the name of this whole thing that I'm doing is called Making Positivity and Self-Empowerment Louder is because of the advent of the phone, which is sort of charged. Dude, we can now. We can. This production, which we're essentially doing for fucking free, 5-7 years ago would have cost thousands upon thousands of dollars to get the camera to you, the boom mic, the thing. And motherfuckers running the board, and we're gonna put it on NBC, we're gonna put it on where we're gonna put it, CBS? No, perfect. We can shoot this whole thing up, what I'm doing now,
Exactly.
in a matter of minutes for free because we can now. We're at a place where we can take back our fucking sovereignty, our spiritual nature. I mean, what is it? We're spiritual beings.
Oh, having a human experience.
And that's the truth. And again, dude, I'm definitely a little crazier than most. Obsessed. But I alone, my voice can make a difference, and the more people that get on the bandwagon, and the more I lead by example. Hey, you can't just get on your phone and be like, hey man, you know what? I'm really whatever. I'm appreciative for this, now my mom, my dad, and just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Putting that out there. I'm grateful that I get to be alive, that I get to have a fucking healthy body that works, that my eyes and everything is working, and I'm so grateful and appreciative that I get to do that. I get to hang out with my friends today. Just that in and of itself, as simple as it sounds, is imagine if we can get 50, 100, 1,000, 1 million people on that. Just gratitude. Just fucking gratitude. And there's so many possibilities, and that's the journey, really. Making people aware that they're fucking sovereign, independent entities, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like being an artist or a musician, and having self-growth is essential for those things, right? It feels like, I don't know about you, but it sure sounds like it. Like when you start trying to learn music, it's more of a path of self-discovery, right? You're trying to discover who you are through music and art or any of the arts, really. You're having to find out your place in that world, right? Well, the normal education platform, they really want you to be certain things, right? They want you to be an engineer or scientist, and you may be able to have some flexibility within that field eventually, but musician really, and artist really, you have to really dive in to a part of yourself that is unknown, to explore parts of yourself, definitely if you're composing music, where you're just having to, do I like this sound, or do I like this color, or do I like this, do I like that, and through those choices, you really start to understand who you are, in this society, and so you really form an individual identity, and individualism, right, is really, is a fragile, I guess, or it's something that is disruptive to a society, right? Too many individuals, too many roosters in the in the hen thing, right?
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen, right? And so I can see that. Is that what you're trying to say, or?
It's time.
Yeah.
That's just it, dude. It's just fucking time. It wasn't time before.
Right.
We weren't there, we weren't ready, but now it's time. It's time, and I'm just gonna lead by example and be and deploy the fucking leadership that our civilization, that our people deserve.
That was wonderful, man.
We deserve better, and now we can. And who can stop? No, like it's a tidal wave. It just can't be stopped, and it's happening. Our emancipation is like happening like now as we're recording this, and it's you know, it's like a crazy, surreal, like honor to be out there, be like the first one, like leading the fucking charge. Fuck, man. I'm grateful.
It's beautiful. All right, do you want to tell anybody any projects you're working on, any albums? This is Ocho the Owl, by the way.
Woo! Cares, no.
That's his phrase.
Yeah. Okay, so what is happening for the remainder of the 2019 year? I'm going to be working exclusively, true story, I'm going to be working with a outfit called Cosmic Embassy. Go ahead and look them up on the Facebook, on the Instagram. I'm working with them and on their digitals as well. And what they are doing, like literally like a super grassroots kind of way, is they're taking the conversation about extraterrestrials, about free energy, about like all that shit. They're literally taking it to festival culture and to just where gatherings are happening. And I've focused a good number of the music, kind of it's themed with a lot of like sovereign based ideas about the extraterrestrial reality, and I'm working with them for the rest of the year exclusively. What do we got? We got Disclosure Fest, which is coming up in June. We got the East Setting Ranch in July. We have Dimensions of Disclosure, which is in August. We've got like a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be posting them on the Instagram in a couple of days. At Ocho the Owl, that's OCHOTHEOWL on Instagram, on Facebook, on where all podcasts are available. That is Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. Yeah, just about where every podcast can and is available. You can find Ocho the Owl Radio. Tons and tons and tons of stuff being uploaded each and every single day. And yeah, man, this is the year, this is the fucking decade to go super, super all in on making, like, you know, making it count, making this time that we have here just fucking count, dude.
Yeah.
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 Well, thanks, Ocho, for coming on. This is Tom Sock's music. This is Ocho the Owl.
Woo!
Yeah, make sure to check out his music. It's awesome. And his live performances are amazing, as you can imagine. All right, well, thank you, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, have a good day.
Together we are both made of stars. It goes, I am, and you are, and both of us together we are both made of stars.